guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Game, and I study on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Stranded. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! If only this was a dream. Please let this be a dream. It was a dream. I winced and blinked myself awake as soon as the irritating glare of the rising sun could be felt through my closed eyes. Yawning and stretching, I eased what remained of my tiredness away. Feeling oddly refreshed, I slowly got up and surveyed the land from my sleeping area. Through dazed vision, I scanned my surroundings while memories from yesterday replayed inside my mind. Yeah, God, it's so fucking horrific. Ugh. A disappointed sigh escapes my lips as I realize that this really wasn't a bad dream after all. It turns out that this was a reality I had to live through as well. I absent-mindedly rubbed some gunk out of my eye while casting my gaze at Kim and Terry's empty sleeping spots. Concerned, I turned around to check behind me, but felt only partial relief as I sighted Kim sitting cross-legged on the sandy beach facing towards the horizon, with no signs of Terry's whereabouts. I walked towards the direction where Kim was, hoping to find some answers. I hated the fact that I was perhaps barging in while Kim was deeply contemplating something, but Terry wasn't enough of a jerk for me to justify his disappearance from the group. As I approached Kim, I couldn't help but marvel at his athletic figure. His upward sitting posture was one of confidence, and those broad shoulders gave me a strangely comforting feeling for a split second. The way that his shiny blue fur was swaying in the gentle breeze, it made me take a step back and give myself a mental lecture for letting idle thoughts get in the way. Are you doing okay there? You've been staring for quite a while. Huh? Oh, sorry about that, I said, feeling flustered from getting caught staring at him. I can hear him chuckling at my bad response before he went back to staring into the horizon. The sounds of the waves crashing against the shore filled this awkward silence, as none of us spoke anymore. The gentle breeze blew past us. Did you sleep well? Yeah, I did. You're up earlier than the rest. Well, I'd like to hear Terry say the same. Speaking of which, where did that fox go anyway? The sunlight woke me up, but he just wasn't in his sleeping spot. I looked back at the campsite again, hoping that Terry might just be eavesdropping in silence. Nope, still gone. Well, he said very little before he left, about how he needed to think or something. I mean, I tried talking to him, but... Kim pauses and shuts himself up, contemplating his next word. He took several deep breaths while closing his eyes. Once they're open again, he assumed a more relaxed posture and leaned back on the sand while being propped up on his elbows. He looked calmer now, but I still noticed that his toned chest was heaving at an irregular pace. It's fine. Sorry, I went off a little back there. Terry did go off somewhere, but I made sure he didn't go too far off from where we currently are. He sounded dejected now. His confident voice trailed away into a low and barely audible mutter as he spoke the last sentence. Are you doing okay? You seem distant. I'm doing alright. You don't sound alright. I said I'm fine! He snapped back at me, which felt rather uncharacteristic coming from someone like him. The person who went on about how a calm mind is a clear mind yesterday is now having a personality shift from chipper to overly crotchety overnight. It just didn't feel natural. I, of all people, knew that being stranded on a mound of land surrounded by a never-ending body of water would not do wonders for morale, so perhaps Kim was also affected by it despite what he said. I'm sorry. That was rude and unnecessary of me, he said, averting his eyes away from me in guilt. It's okay, I just wasn't expecting that. For a while, none of us knew what to say to one another. How does one even recover from this awkward situation? Thank you. What? What do you mean, thank you? Thank you for stepping up as our leader. You were the only voice of reason among a desperate crowd yesterday, and I thought that you should know since no one mentioned it yet. I paused, half expected to be cut off at any time, yet the blue husky only made a soft grunt of doubt. Kim was trying to remain stoic, yet his ears did perk up and twitch ever so subtly as I offered my compliments. I had more words left, but before anything I went next to him and sat down. The The pleasant warmness of the sand brushing against my skin and the gentle crashing of the waves helped me to somewhat cope with the tense situation, but I couldn't tell if Kim was feeling the same way even as he kept staring into the horizon. What I'm trying to say is, I'm here if you need to talk about what's bothering you. He went silent and took a moment to ponder his options. When he came back to his senses, he looked a bit more confident than before. Thank you, but I'm all right. The answer came out with little hesitation, but yet the words didn't feel flat and sounded droning as before. It's still an improvement, at least, even if it's for a bit. Maybe you aren't accustomed to seeing me this way, that I acted like he does sometimes. I will never be like him. Not once. Not ever. He spoke softly in the last part of his sentence, but with more emotion this time, as if he's having a hard time admitting it himself. I let him continue speaking his mind as I sat quietly listening next to him. I'm going to prove him wrong and become the person he believed that I couldn't be. I'll make sure that everyone gets back to civilization in one piece. There'll be no more losses. Not on my watch. His words came out in a calm and pronounced manner, spoken like someone who was full of determination and fire to press on when the odds were against them. No further explanation from him was needed to justify his true intentions, and yet... What do you mean by losses? Once again, Kim could only shake his head in disagreement behind closed eyes. That's not something I'm ready to share yet. Besides, we have work to do. The Husky said as he stood up and extended an arm to help me up, which I accepted. Whoever this person that Kim mentioned, they managed to get through to Kim, and it concerns me. If it's Terry, then you can only wonder what he had said to Kim. Whatever happens, we need to have a clear head to get through today. I heard while I was preoccupied with brushing off the sand from my lower body before looking up at him. A calm mind is a clear mind, right? I said, startling him with my remarks. Right. I walked past Kim and had a head start and headed straight to regroup with the others. Kim followed suit at a comfortable enough walking speed to catch up to me. He kept his pace along with mine, making sure I wasn't falling behind all the way to the campsite. We approached the campsite and waved to Lucy, who seemed to be the only one awake. Barrow was still sound asleep with a peaceful expression on his face. Owen, on the other hand, had a rather comical grin on his face. His lips were quivering as if he was trying to talk in his sleep. They sure look comfortable enough to be able to sleep all night long. Yeah, I kind of feel bad trying to wake him up now. Well, I don't. Hey, guys! Wake up already! Kim went to Barrow's position and gave the bear a very gentle shake to rouse him from his slumber. He let out a yawn and gazed around groggily as I tried to wake up Owen. Surprisingly, the otter did not stir even as me and Kim each took an arm, trying our best to rock him out of his deep dream. Sure, it took more effort for some, but eventually the gang was all awake. Alright, so what's the plan then? Well, some input from the rest would be good. What do you guys think? I said as I turned my neck to check on them and caught the two leaning haphazardly against one another. They stared lazily at me with droopy eyelids that could close at any moment, while bobbing their heads back and forth, still struggling to stay awake. Lucy let out an annoyed sigh and got up. She rose to her feet and picked up a discarded can from last night. Her actions seemed strange at first, but then a sense of realization sets in at the sight of the small stick she was clutching in the other hand while walking toward her two sleepy companions. Ah! Unexpectedly, the bunny banged her stick against the container right above their head, creating a sudden ruckus which caused Barrow and Owen both to jump up in shock. Barrow falling back and Owen wincing and recoiling, bracing himself with his hands in front of him. Stay awake, you lazy heads, or we'll die for real today! She yelled right in their faces before tossing aside the objects and returning to her spot for a seat. I'm up! I'm up! Yep, wasn't even sleepy anyway. Nope. As she sat, Lucy tried to look as calm as possible. Her eyes closed and the sound of meditative breathing became audible. Yeah, Lucy gets shit done. Barrow and Owen had a shocked look on their faces as they stared at Lucy, still trying to process what happened. Barely a minute later, Lucy had already opened her eyes. She cleared her throat. Sorry about that. Anyway, what should we do now? Oh, right. Plan. The Husky uttered nervously before finding a moment and regaining his composure. Well then, it is important that we replenish our food supplies. I say we explore this island a bit to find things that we can eat. Well, maybe we could start with fruits and berries. It should be around if we look carefully enough. We can split into groups of two and search the island while Owen goes fishing with the bait. Yep, sounds decent to me. Are you okay with being alone, Owen? I'll be fine, just count on me. Barrow, is there something wrong about the plan? Barrow was thinking rather intensely and was lost in his own thoughts. He stared into the sand as his hands covered his muzzle, before pulling them away. His face scrunched up with a serious expression. It's rare for you to be so serious. Are you okay, Barrow? Are coconuts a fruit or a nut? Huh? At least his head is working. I'm more concerned about his line of thought. But the word nut is in the name. Cocoa nut. Barrow, I don't think that's how it works. No, you're right, Barrow. It is a nut. It's actually... I knew it. Don't encourage him. All right. Enough about nuts. We're getting sidetracked here. We still need to divide ourselves into two groups. Yeah, we should. Anyway, what were you trying to say, Lucy? I didn't hear much of everything going on just now. It's... Never mind. If there's nothing else, Hisoka? Yeah? Would you like to go berry hunting with me, or coconut hunting with Barrow? Oh, well... Kim. I think I'll give you a hand, Kim. Me? You're not following Barrow or Lucy? Yeah, I'm sure the two of them will be fine. I don't think I'll be of much help, but it'd be better than nothing. Yeah. Alright, can't really argue with that. Oh, come on now, did you really have to consider my companionship? I whined at him, which only elicited a wider grin from the husky. What? I was thinking about who else would be there for you when you start crying over being lost. Hey, I'm not that useless! I playfully punched his shoulder, looking up at him with puffed cheeks as he looked down at me, laughing and ruffling my hair with his hand on my head. Hey, calm down, Tiger. I was only joking. Gosh, you don't really put up much of a fight, do you? Anyway, I guess that leaves Barrow with you, Lucy. Hisoka and I will be looking along the edges of the forest. Barrow and Lucy can look around the beach for any coconuts or building material for shelter. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!